Hello, good morning and welcome to another classic car show video. Today I'm on the way to the Lanlivery Vintage and Country Fair. I'll be having a walk around and I'll be taking you with me to show you some of the classic cars and steam engines. I hope you enjoy the video. As you can see from the car park, it's absolutely packed and a very popular event. And I've just spotted in the car park a very interesting Citron Cx Athena 8283Y. Has the original Cliffords of Sidcup Citroen main dealer plate. This one's probably more interesting than a lot of cars in the show actually. It's quite surprising to see this one on the car park. And here's almost certainly the oldest vehicle on display today, a 1920 Model T 1-ton truck, which is a locally supplied car on the original AF, a very old Cornish plate. Quite an interesting story with this one, a lot of information on the side, which I could actually record in a Canoa's freeze frame. Yeah, not many creature comforts in those days. And a 1989 G Escort Tennis Cabriolet. I do remember this coming out actually as a limited edition back in '89. Has the sapphire Cosworth alloys, which were standard fit when new. Local car originally supplied from Bosper's Lemon Quay, Truro. Lemon Quay in Truro. Back in the day, it was quite known for its car showrooms. It originally had HTP Motors going back to the 30s, and one of the earliest garages, Hicks, which was selling Austin Rovers up until the late 90s. Got the lovely original Recaro seats. We have a 1971 Austin 1100 Mark III. You can tell the Mark III without the overriders, which gives it more of a modern look. It's quite unusual, this one, in that the interior trim is very similar colour to the exterior. Here we have a 1985-86 Reliant Scimitar SS1, which was launched at the '84 Birmingham Motor Show. Do you actually remember attending that one? 1981-82 W123 Mercedes 240D manual. Morris Traveller on the 71K. It's been one of the very last ones. We have a 1972 Mg Midget that's actually owned by the same owner who bought it brand new in 1972. Have a 1990-91 model Bentley Turbo R. I believe that's got the active ride. That's the later one of these. Quite a rare interior with this. The darker than the usual kind of darker biscuit interior.
Off we went, and it's Mr. Italic. Where are you from? Stenalees. Who's that beside you?
On tray plates, which is a first for today. And a very early MX5 on the 1991H. First came out on the March 90G in this country, so quite an early one. Bit of a change from the usual red as well.
Thousands, and I'm not exaggerating, thousands of hours of work have gone into these vehicles. The sun's out, the chrome's gleaming. What else could you want? Here they come. As I say, look at them glinting in the sunshine. It makes such a difference. There goes the Zephyr. American influence, and then in complete contrast, little Poplar there, quintessentially British really, and out they come. Thank you very much. Wow, I think you'll agree, from 1920 almost to the present day, you've got the evolution of motor cars in Britain and America. There you go. Here they come. So lovely that the ground's dried out. Won't be quite so much polishing needed. Little Morris Minor with the early one, divided windscreen. The other Zephyr. Oh, and a little procession of Morris Minors. Oh, well done. Little Austin 7, there we go. And the Fords. And on they come, they still come. We just about managed to fit them in the ring. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Still got a hat on. And the Morris Traveller. There you go. And the Triumph now. Look at the chrome on that. And even his teeth are glinting in the sun. Still they come. And I'd just like to give a shout out to Chris in the middle there, because the show hasn't been going for the last few years. It's a whole new team. He's never done this before, and Becky here, who helped me with the commentary, has never done it before, and he's done it just like clockwork. Give him a round of applause, organising all the cars. Come on. And Becky, oh, she's still here. There you go. Well done, you two. There you go.
And here's a very early low light split screen Morris Minor. Very rare to see a low light one now. It's registered in 1950. We have a 1971 Volvo 164 3 litre. Very rare sight now. I think my dad's cousin had one of these new at the time in the early 70s.
To get the indicators to work. There you go. Is it going to go back in? Yes, it is.
1974 Transit Custom automobile.
Ah, hello, hello. We were talking.
1971 MGB GT with the Webasto sunroof.
just sort of fits in the background really. It's beautiful. That's got a lot of grunt.
1956 Austin A30. Father had one of these as his first car. He tells me it wasn't in such good condition as this one back then. Nicely retrimmed, this one.
They're bank robbers, hence driving that car, but they can't find any banks open. So, what was it? 35, Morris Minor 2-door saloon, 66, purchased 2002 as a non-runner. This is number 93.
And here we have a relatively late Reliant Robin, 96-97 on the P. I guess one of the main selling points of these is you could drive them on a motorcycle licence. Pretty rare to see such a late one. It's got the TSW Television Southwest sticker in the back. Actually TSW would have gone by 93 when it was taken over by West Country Television. Local OD Devon car.
This is a 2.1 litre Mark 1. The year is 90s. God, just as they say in Rolls Royce, just hear the ticking of the clock. Your name, sir? And what are you driving?
It's a Ford Escort Tennis.
That's unusual.
One for the main dealer back in '89 for the Wimbledon.
Wow, that is a rare vehicle. Are you going to hold on to your hat? There you go. Where are you from? Ivy Beach. Did you bring your passport? Good. And a tag. On you go. That is a rare motor made for the Wimbledon tennis finals. Number 6, another lovely little Morris Traveller. Look at the woodwork. Original woodwork and
possibly the star of the show, a 1959 Mark 9 Jaguar. Amazing car, really ahead of its time with disc brakes and power steering. The Leaping Cat bonnet mascot really suits the car. I know a lot of people add them to a lot later Jaguars, which is debatable whether it's a good idea, but it does really suit the look of the front end of the car. Even got the decanter and glasses on the picnic trays. Absolutely amazing lines on these. It's probably the star of the show really for me. It's a very stately looking car. From the Mark 7 onwards, from the early 50s, the shape was almost identical. And in the film Vertigo, they had a light green Mark 7, which played quite a big role in the film, and really does have film style looks.
have a look in the back. You've got the walnut tables, just pull down tables.
1968 Austin Mini Cooper. The B plate is not the actual year of it, that one's been transferred afterwards. Got the original sales invoice for £691. A Mark 1 72-73L Escort 1300 XL 4-door. Got a nice light tan interior, nice combination with the red exterior.
Model 4, even earlier, 1920. Detroit, manufactured 1920, imported 2000s, only for 2 years. Listen to this engine, give it a little rev. Oh, that's what you call an engine. Your name, sir? Chris, where are you from? 64 is the Ford Zephyr again, she glides.
Now we have a 1966 Jaguar Mark II 3.8 manual overdrive. There's the Webasto sunroof. See the front seats have been retrimmed, and the back seats are still the original with the patina.
And what's your name?
Dave Collins.
And what is she? The famous Model T production line, one of the first production.
Quite an early 1960 Austin Mini. Actually for sale at the moment. This one, there's not many cars for sale here today, but there is one or two. 12,500. Collection of grills here. A 95 Ford Scorpio, I believe, quite rare these days. Honda CR-V and Vauxhall Astra.
This is a 2.1 litre Mark 1. The year is 19...
And a 1950 Triumph Renown. Anyway, we have a 1934 Hillman Minx, the family foursome model. And a lovely looking 1947 MG type, which I guess was the precursor to the later Magnet. And a rubber bumper 77-78 Mg Midget with the tonneau cover. And a very graceful looking Rover 75. Have a Lister stationary engine water pump, complete with ducts. Now, you don't see one of these every day, a pickup version of a Ford Zephyr. And a 96 onwards SLK on a private plate, SLK 230 compressor. I remember seeing these on the stand at the NEC 96 Motor Show. Very impressive with the electric folding metal hood back then.
Would be 1967 petrol, owned for 6 years.
Here we have a 1979 Triumph Spitfire, had a 2-year restoration. Does look absolutely immaculate. (1933) Austin 7 Tourer. It's been to the Isle of Wight and Brittany in France in the last few years. And here's a 1975 Mini, locally registered. Has the more modern 1990s Mini badge. And a 1966 Singer of Oath. And a 1956 Ford Popular 103E. And the 1968 MGC. That was by the power bulge in the bonnet. Fine looking car. And here we have one of the Tomcat coupes. Remember these coming out back in '92. This is the Amaranth purple paint, which was fairly popular back in the time. It's a 1996 216. Almost looks like a Japanese import with that square plate, but I believe it's a Swain & Jones Surrey inspired original UK car. A Rover 45 Impression 2, one of the special editions, with the aftermarket alloys on a 2002. Another Rover R8 derivative, a 93L 214 Cabriolet in the Polynesian turquoise.
It's a very popular 1950.
And now we have a rubber bumper MG Roadster in 75-76p. And something a bit more modern, an SL. It's on the private plate, it's not a 96-97p. It's from the 02 to the 11 plate. 1950 Riley RM Roadster. It's quite rare to have a Roadster, one of those. 1927 Austin 12 Windsor. Plenty of room in these. And an MGA Roadster. I remember having a trip out with one of these when I was about 15 and absolutely freezing, but a super car in the sun. And a 1984 Granada 2.8 gear. Here's a 1966 MGB Roadster. And a 1968 Mini Moog, and totally renovated. Apparently the renovator said the only thing with that rust on it was the logbook. There's a new line on there. And an 81-82 Mark V Cortina 2-litre GLS. Has the very 80s louvered rear window. Have a 1998 Volvo FH12 in the ECC International livery, which is a very common sight in the old days. A local 1973 Bedford truck, HAFL, the local registration, quite similar to a Maxi, the parents own, that was HCV out. And some of the military vehicles. Francis Barnett. Got a mountain of old tax discs. The really old style ones from the 30s. And photos of the restoration. Very comprehensive. And a lovely BSA Bantam Super, with a 175cc. A couple of Bonneville's. Francis Barnett, and this is a very rare, quite valuable Field Marshal tractor. Even got a tiny little bucket there for drips of oil. Could be quite handy with quite a few cars. And there's the starter handle, and as most tractors of this era, you've got the split brake, so you can lock one wheel to turn, obviously reduces the turning circle considerably. Here we have a 1937 Case tractor, very, very early one. Lovely logo there. A bird on top of the world, as it were. Must be a joke there somewhere, but I'll leave that one to you. It's just the steam engines in the background. And here we have a very early Foden steam lorry. Very impressive piece of engineering.
Goliath, a full-size version, made here, I believe.
1915 brown ball, 1912 brown ball. Yeah.
Oh, you don't like that, do you?